Alright, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me because, for some odd reason, every time I flip the camera, it doesn't wanna put my face on it. Um, but, okay, so I'm here to talk about the state of the WWE. I've been watching wrestling since I was about 5 years old. Um, so basically, I've been watching wrestling for almost 33 years now. I've seen it all. Um, Golden era, Attitude era, Ruthless Aggression era, PG era, Renaissance era, Alpha era, whatever era you wanna categorize this era, I've seen it all. Out of 41 WrestleManias we're technically in, I have seen lucky number 13. I have seen only 13 WrestleManias. Pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Backlash, obviously, Capital Punishment, other, Cyber Tuesday, where the fans get to pick the stipulations, which I wish they brought that back for only one night. Night of Champions was always my favorite one. Was always my favorite or I just call it, I don't know what they call it now, but I used to call them pay-per-view, and now they call it like PPL or PEP or whatever they call it. But now, Night of Champions was always my favorite because obviously every single superstar defends their belts. It's basically, it's basically a night where, if you're a champion, you defend your champion. But there was a lot of great matches over the years. But boy, y'all fans complain too much. It's like it's not even funny. Y'all fans complain way too much. And I'm not the type of person to complain. And shout out to Jax, but I'm not the type of person to complain. I just take it how it is, and I live with the results. But I'm not the type of person to complain. Never was the type of person to complain. But boy, y'all fans are sports in general. It could be basketball, football, baseball, whatever. It's like I just can't sit there and I just can't appreciate greatness without always having it your way. Like when they made Cody Rhodes champion, I knew it wasn't really on WWE per se. I think it was probably the fans. They was just sick and tired of the old stick, Roman Reigns coming out there, Roman Reigns fighting, every 2-3 days, whatever, like I knew when the WWE fans wanted a change, Triple H had to apply by y'all, right? Triple H had to say, alright, this is not working. We can't keep on shoving this same thing over and over and over, because Cody Rhodes had to finish his story, right? He didn't that year, but he did it the next following year. And I really wanted to see Roman Reigns break Bruno Sammartino's record, which will never be broken. But again, just like how Vince McMahon said I don't give a damn what you people want. Triple H is the opposite. Triple H give what the fans what they want, and that was the that was number one. That was Triple H's first downfall. Never listen to the fans. Okay, the fans are gonna come regardless of the situation or the matches, whatever, because they in tune. Some of them are hardcore wrestling fans. Some of them grew up in the WCW, ECW era with this aggression, golden era. So they're going to obviously gravitate towards whatever product is out there. Whether their superstars are there, whether they're not there, you just put on the show, and that was it. Looking back at the 90s and 80s and early 2000s fan base, they didn't really complain. They really didn't. Especially the 80s and 90s, like their fan base never complained. Their fan base complained a lot, and it's sad. You can't just sit there and just appreciate that. It's like you think fans in the 90s was complaining about, no, because that was the only entertainment that they had. It's not like now these days where you have like multiple resources, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you just had that one resource and that was, even early 2000s, you didn't really have that much resource, You didn't have, Netflix came out in, 2004? Launched in 2004, I believe. So, Facebook, YouTube, they both launched around 2004. Happy belated birthday to both of us, YouTube and Facebook. But they just never complained. Like WWE has gone through a rough patch. Obviously after the golden era, they had to adjust. They did just that. Attitude era. After the Attitude Era came the Ruthless Aggression Era. And I think that's where they really ramped it up because they lost so much big stars, The Rock, Austin. But they had some upcoming guys, to not really take their place, but to, show that they belonged here. You know what I'm saying? And you got into the attitude era. You got into the PG era, which was just not good at all. And then after that, there was the Renaissance era, which is basically, it was ran by, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. That was probably the worst era. And then obviously Daniel Bryan finally broke out and won the championship just to lose it to CM Punk because of the Shield. And then they tried to push Seth Rollins. No, first it was Randy Orton, and then they tried to push Seth Rollins. And then with Seth Rollins, obviously, backstabbed the Shield. And then, the COVID era, where, it was just too much. But I believe when John Cena retires, the WWE is still going to be the same. I don't think nothing is going to change because you get new audiences every single year. Every single year you get new audiences. So you're not, like, WWE is not losing sleep just because The Undertaker's not there no more. They're still going to constantly collect money, Whether who's there or not, they're still going to come and see who's there, We said the same thing about Austin. Like, Austin made Vince McMahon so much money that when he did retire around 2004, three. Like, where is this massive, you know, revenue is going to come from? And then they obviously pushed John Cena. Thought their Thugonomics didn't work, so obviously they went on to the more marine approach. And then that's when, same thing with Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan came to WWE, he was nothing. He wasn't Hulk Hogan yet. You know what I'm saying? He was still Terry. I think he went by Terry by WCW. By WCW, he went by his real name. And then, if it wasn't for Robert Finkel, WrestleMania was not even a thing, because he pitched, why don't you call it WrestleMania? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the NFL has the NBA Finals, Super Bowl, NFL, Major League, or whatever you call the MLB Finals. You had hockey. So Vince McMahon needed to come up with a clever name for WrestleMania. Robert Finkel said, how come I don't just call it WrestleMania? Vince McMahon came up with some bad names for it. Like, if you go back and look at Vince McMahon's documentary on Netflix, you'll see how bad, I think he came up with 10 bad names for it. At the end of the day, man, it's why complain? I don't get it. But, people complain to the most, like when John Cena's not there anymore, nothing's going to change. Obviously wrestlers are going to have to step up and fill that void the best they can, but nothing's going to change. Now when Roman Reigns retire, that's when I'm going to retire. I think I should have retired when The Rock retired, or when Austin retired. I should say not The Rock, but just Austin, because I was a huge Austin fan. When he retired, I should have retired. I did take 6 years off of wrestling, and I came back the later half of the Ruthless Aggression era, where Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon was feuding. But yeah, I got the end of Goldberg versus Triple H. When Goldberg came back to the WWE, that's where I picked up on wrestling again. So I kind of did miss the middle half of the Ruthless Aggression era. But it was a fun era. It was a fun, exciting time. Had a lot of great storylines, had a lot of great matches. But yeah, man. When Roman and Cena retires, obviously Randy Orton says that he wants to retire until he's 50. So he'll probably stick around longer, because you gotta have some veterans, can't have a whole bunch of, second year, third year superstars running the business now, can you? Even AJ Styles says that he wants to retire at the age of 50, So he's 40 something right now. They're both in their 40s, so they still have a couple of more years left to go. If their body feels like they can withstand it, then so be it. Like I said, you have to have some type of veteran still in the business. But yeah, man. I mean, when Roman and John Cena retires, well, this is probably gonna be John Cena's last, hopefully last stand. Whether he wins the championship or not, which he probably won't. That would be stupid, but you know, it is gonna be a hard fought match. But Cody Rhodes will retain. Um, but yeah, when Roman Reigns retires, that's when I'm gonna officially retire. Um, I don't know. I don't know when. I mean, he turns 40 next year. I mean, next month, May 25th. Yeah, he's 39 right now, so he still has 10 more good years left in him. You know, that's if he trains his body right, which I know he does. He eats right. You know, I mean, he could be in like a LeBron James type of the WWE. You know, um, but yeah, man, it's just like when those two guys, when those two are gone, WWE is still gonna keep on rolling. It doesn't really matter. WWE is gonna find a way to generate new stars. People are gonna cling on to them just like how they did LA Knight. So WWE is still gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's in front of the face. You know, of the company. You know. I think the only person that was the face of the company was Vince, but obviously he's no longer in control of that anymore. But yeah, man, just learning the business side of things. You know, a lot of people just say, "Oh, you're gonna lose a lot of massive followers because such and such is not there." Like when the Undertaker wrestled his last WrestleMania match, yeah, a lot of that video went up, skyrocketed, you know. And then after that, the next WrestleMania just dipped, kept on dipping. Even with The Rock and Austin, you know, coming back to save Cody Rhodes, it spiked up a little bit, but it wasn't until nowhere near what, you know, it was nowhere near what, you know, it should have been, the number wise. You know, when CM Punk left, you know, views would drop down, you know, tremendously. So you're gonna get devalued, you know, your product is gonna devalue, but there's gonna be so many new people pouring in, it's not gonna even matter, you know, like Austin retired, Rock retired, okay, cool, you have an up and coming Batista, you still got The Undertaker, still got Kurt Angle, you know, you still had a band-aid on that bleeding because you had so much good wrestlers left over, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, you know, what are you going to do when John Cena and Roman Reigns retire? You know, you still got, you know, Randy Orton, you still got AJ Styles. And yes, when it comes to making new stars, the WWE sucks at it. You know, I mean, I think that's what made Vince McMahon, because he knew how to hit one of those pinpoints. You know, like he knew how to make something out of nothing. You know, like John Cena. Nobody knew John Cena was going to be what he became. It took him rapping on the bus to get Stephanie McMahon's attention. And then from there, yeah, it wasn't really going anywhere. He comes out each and every night, starts rapping about his opponent or the city that he's in, get massive boos. Okay, yeah, this is not working. And then after that, 2006, when he got dropped into Raw, he had to change his whole gimmick to this Marine, never give up, hustle loyalty, respect. and that rode with him all the way till now. So, um, but who would have known John Cena was going to get a second chance at that because of Vince McMahon? Now Stephanie did hear him rap, but obviously he took, Stephanie didn't really have any power at the time. I think she was GM. I think she was general manager at the time. So she took it upon Vince McMahon and said, yo, I hear John Cena rapping, this and that and the third. We could use this and, shape his, gimmick up a little bit. And, Vince McMahon was hearing it, because he's open to new ideas all the time, But like I said, if you go back and look at his Netflix documentary, you would know what Triple H said at the time. He said, I think he said that the interviewer said, name me three things about this man that sets him apart. And then Triple H said that he's always open to new ideas. He always has his ears pinned out. Like even if it's a bad idea, he'll try to flip it or he'll try to create something that'll stick. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like if it's outlandish or if it's crazy enough, he'll think about something like he thinks outside the box type of mind. Like he's not gonna just you give him an idea or he's just gonna shove it in your face. Like no, like he'll hear you out, and if it's good, he'll make dollars out of it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the way that the WWE is shaping right now doesn't look good in terms of stardom. I mean, you look at the NBA, you look at the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You look at Major League Baseball. When those guys are not there anymore. Especially the NFL, where they're lacking a lot of quarterback veteran. There's not going to be any more quarterback veteranship. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about all the decent quarterbacks that was there, from Tony Romo to Donovan McNabb to Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, like those cats are not there no more. So they have to bank on these new up-and-coming quarterbacks that's probably going to be here for another 15 years if, that organization treats them right. You know what I'm saying? I could see Lamar Jackson not on the Ravens anymore. I could see 5 years from now, Patrick Mahomes still on the Chiefs. Because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is that type that is going to, be in his 40s and still playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much things to do outside of football. He might probably retire at the age of 36. Who knows? He might probably have 6 more good years left in him, and then after that, he might probably retire. Like, a lot of these quarterbacks may not even be on their respective team 15 years from now, 5 years from now. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. You just have to take, you just have to appreciate what you have, until it's gone. I hear y'all, I know y'all hear that phrase a lot. Like people don't appreciate things when they're gone, and when they're gone, it's like they complain and moan. Oh, if such and such was still here, and this and like okay, when he was here, you didn't appreciate him. So when he's gone, like now that you appreciate him when you're gone, when he's gone, when he's not here no more, Like I always appreciated the Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, whoever it was, Like I even watched that triple threat match against Kane, Big Show, and Raven in the triple threat hardcore match. I think it was at WrestleMania 17 or WrestleMania 7, or I think it was 17. That was a pretty good match. That was a pretty good match. So, I even went back and looked at Trish versus Mickey James match. I looked back and looked at Edge versus Randy Orton. Edge versus Mick Foley, I should say. I looked at not all, but I looked at some of Undertaker's winning streak. From Mark Henry to Edge to CM Punk to Randy Orton, most people might say, well, The Undertaker should have faced, higher opponents. Like, how come he never faced Kurt Angle at WrestleMania? That would have been a great WrestleMania. Both were in their primes and stuff like that. Like, instead he was, forced to, fight not mid-carders, but okay wrestlers like Edge, which was no competition. CM Punk was no competition. Batista was no competition. Triple H 3 times. Shawn twice. So, but anyways, man, just, appreciate, that's all you can do, and that's all you can ask for is just appreciate. There's really nothing you can do at this moment, and I know fans are pissed and, want change and want this and want that, but at the end of the day, man, it's just, you just have to take it, man. Like, as a society, y'all complain way too much already. If y'all don't get what y'all want, y'all complain. Or if you don't like the product, you don't complain. Or you do complain, you still complain if you don't like the product. The product is never going to be great. You'll never get a great TV show. You'll never get a great movie. You'll get great cast members, side members, or whatever you want to call them. But the TV show or movie, it's never going to be great. It's never going to be great. Like Shawn versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, great match. Brock versus Kurt Angle, great match. Now you're starting to see pay-per-view matches as like okay now. It's not great, it's just okay. Because they don't know how to captivate the moment. Like a Triple H, like The Undertaker, like a Kane, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know how to seize the moment, they don't know how to capture the moment, Like, I'm pretty sure that Gunther and Jay match for the championship is probably going to be trash. Unless The Undertaker comes out of retirement again and face a nobody or somebody, just like how Kevin Owens, was it Kevin Owens? Yeah, it was Kevin Owens who was keep poking at, Stone Cold to come out of retirement, like, do a match like that, but I don't think it's too late, but I don't think The Undertaker's going to come out of retirement, just to do a 15-second squash match, like that wouldn't work, Like, there's rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin might return to help Cody Rhodes, And if that happens, that'd be great. You know, I guess you know the WWE will get a massive rating boost. You know, because anything that involves Austin, you know, as soon as that glass breaks, you know, everybody's gonna start going bananas and stuff. So I guess he'll provide a little bit of spark in the ratings. Um, but yeah, man, it's just you know just live with the results, man. I mean, these guys are old now. You know, they're in their 50s. You know, they're not in their prime anymore. Um, so I don't know. I might probably do like a prediction on WrestleMania probably next month. Um, but um, but yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe. And again, I couldn't really show my face because every time I do show my face, the screen is black. I need to get a new tablet. Uh, I should have got Samsung, but I bought this stupid tablet, which sucks. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, shout out to Jack. Um, yeah.